Philip broke it.
I did a good job. I broke it well.
You literally broke it in a way I never knew.
Impressive.
There's a manage button over here.
Did you press the manage button?
I did not. Do you want me to? Right there.
Oh, it went away.
Right there.
Oh, okay.
After you lose my super sense on the best, I'll hit you.
How would I lose it? It's literally the size of a brick.
I'm gonna steal it.
Okay. But it's not popping up at all.
Goodbye, everybody.
This isn't this one's not popping up at all.
No.
So do I end this one?
Yes,
End it.
Oh no, it's here.
Wait, not yet then. So is both of them going?
No, only one of them is going.
Is-
But one of them is definitely going.
Is this one going?
Yes.
The one we're at right now.
Yes. See? One of them is definitely going.
One of them is definitely
It's
going.
definitely going.
So
Oh, hey, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
this is working.
Yeah.
Good. I don't know what the other one is.
If anyone wants to know, I have screwed this up.
Yes,
It is all on me.
it's majorly screwed up.
I have hit a button somewhere and it created 2 live streams and we are only on one, I think.
Yeah. But luckily no one's waiting on the other one now.
Okay. So
good.
maybe they shifted because it did something weird.
Rachel, were you waiting on the other one and now you're here? Because that makes sense.
That was I hope.
Hmm.
Yes.
No.
Wait.
Rachel wasn't. No, she said no.
Okay, well, at least we've got it figured out.
We're there now.
Should I lock the door? I can't remember if Gregory locked it.
I don't know.
I'm assuming Gregory locked it.
I would think he did.
For some reason, I'm convinced he didn't, but I know he did.
All right.
Yep. See?
I'm easily convinced if Gregory did it or didn't do it.
For some reason in my brain, I was like, it's definitely unlocked.
Unbelievable. Slam.
Hi everyone, I'm Philip.
I'm Tommy.
This is RCX Unfiltered.
Broken
The lovely
edition.
Tess is behind the camera as always. I have done my best to sabotage this one from the beginning,
And it
and
worked.
so far it's working like a champ. It's what I do. I sabotage things.
Cute.
We are. Thanks.
Precious. Oh, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
So, anywho, let's see here. We made it through another show.
Yeah.
We made it through another rain showered show. I only hung around for an hour, so because I didn't have to be there.
Saturday was a lot of fun. I will say, I'll tell you what I told Gregory and what I also told Skelly. I was not cool enough to be in that room. Everyone in that room was infinitely cooler than me. They made cool comics. They were all artists. And then there was me in the corner being like, yes, that's where the beer is. Go that way.
Hey, could be why they put you in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you were next to Skelly.
Yeah,
So,
and
I mean-
like from where the information table was and where I was, it was clear I was put there so that people who were asking questions could ask them to me and not her. That was very clear. Which was fine. It was a good day. We had a lot of fun. I met a lot of cool people. Picked up a new artist for Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it was good.
It was pretty funny. Like I was walking around, and there's people whose names I don't recognize. Honestly, it's not something that I'm very good at anymore.
Uh-huh.
I just read stuff now if it looks good.
Yeah.
And I was going through a table, and I'm like, wow, that book looks familiar. And yeah, she had written a Dark Horse graphic novel. Like she has all her indie stuff here, and there's a Dark Horse graphic novel. I'm like, yeah, I have that.
One of the YA graphic novels I took with me, Jacqueline was like, I'm gonna borrow this. And then she took it and got it signed by the artist who was there. And then she was like, I will bring you mine from home. And I
We
was like,
did.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think she brought it.
Yeah,
Something,
she did. It's here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's-
it was
yeah.
cheer up, right?
Yeah, cheer up.
cheer up.
Yeah. She was very excited.
Yeah, she was like, I didn't know. Like I didn't look at the list.
Me neither.
That's so exciting, though. I would have brought my copy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So
Yeah, it was a good show. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, Skelly brought in a
Yeah.
lot of good
Yeah.
people. I mean, a lot of stuff that like people you never heard of. Their little zines and stuff are really cool.
A lot of really cool stickers. If you like stickers, it was a great day.
Well, you got a sticker.
I did get a sticker.
Yeah. For say, Jacqueline brought you a sticker.
I got a sticker.
So it was lots of stickers.
But it was raining,
It was raining all day.
so load in and load out was a little damp.
I was fine.
Yeah, he was fine because he wasn't
I
there,
wasn't there.
for load in and load out. Load in was a pain. Load out was not so bad because Jess and Scott were there and they helped me put everything in the truck.
Yeah, we made it back here and did book club.
Mhm.
So, there was 5 of us.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Only like one person outside of the people who work here showed up.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
there
will
was still
say
5 of us.
Sunday, Bill and Kelly showed up.
Oh, Kelly came?
Kelly had a cane, but she was
Oh.
moving around pretty good. Yeah, yeah. After her knee surgery, yeah, she was doing good.
That's cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, good.
Good. Yeah.
And so now we focus on Free Comic Book Day.
Yep. And I have I sent out all of my, hey, do you guys want to set up? And I've gotten a bunch of responses back.
I saw the cupcake people are coming.
Cupcake, they messaged me the
Yeah, I know.
day before I sent out all
I know,
of the
I
things.
noticed.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we're available this year. And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Because that was like, what, 3 years ago when they were here?
Yeah, it might have been the right.
It might have been longer than that.
Yeah, it might have
Like,
been.
it's been a while.
No, it was in here, so it had to be 2020.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it was
yeah.
in here because they set up
Okay.
here, which is probably where they'll set up again.
Yep.
And so it was 2020. It had to be the apocalyptic year.
Yeah.
Well, everything started closing down, then I guess in April, so we had it in May. So it all kind of
Right.
It all kind of worked. It was the last big
Yeah.
hurrah. So, and this year it's on May the 4th. So
Yeah.
Sure, there'll
So
be-
there's a lot of stuff going on that day. Actually, one of the people at the thing Saturday brought me over a little flyer and he was like, hey, we're doing this thing. And I'm like, yeah, this is on Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
Like,
Can't do anything.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, yeah, but we're going to blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, can you imagine if all the people going to the Free Comic Book Day instead would go to your thing? And he was like, I don't think my people are Free Comic Book Day people anyway. And I was just like, well, that's a weird mindset.
yeah.
Everyone should be Free Comic Book Day people.
But so then that begs the question. So if you say that, then why would you be handing a comic book shop thing to go to something that comic book shop people wouldn't want to go to?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Like that logic doesn't even make.
And I'll be honest, like I looked at the thing in the lineup of people and I was like, man, I would love to go to this. However, it's Free Comic Book Day.
And it's worse, right? Because they're doing that, but then it's May the 4th. Then all the Star Wars stuff is happening.
Yeah, like the
right?
Chesterfield Police Athletic League, which we usually do things with, or do anything that day, and we're just like, bro, no.
Yeah.
Like, it's Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
First Saturday in May, don't schedule things. And they're like, well, but it's Star Wars Day. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Free Comic Book Day's become a national holiday.
Yeah.
Like, read the room, people.
Yeah.
Read the room. But it's fine. We'll still have a huge Free Comic Book Day like normal because we're
And it'll be honestly like
and we're less than 2 months.
Yep.
You
And
probably should do a Facebook thing.
Oh, I am. I was waiting to see. I was waiting to get to 75% of the people saying yes, I'll be there. And then I've added a couple people who I did not contact myself who contacted me. So
Tess will be there.
I will. I'll
Tess
sign
will be there.
Yeah,
autographs.
Tess will be signing autographs. Tessa Boo will be signing
I
autographs.
shall. I'll
Ooh,
sign
yes.
the whole thing. You got to pay me $5.
We're gonna have Tessa Boo headshots,
Yep.
and she will be signing.
I will. I'll have
autographs.
my own table.
is that where we shoot her with a paintball gun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Different,
checking.
that's a different.
Just
headshot.
Uh,
Sorry, can't say that online.
yeah, Free Comic Book Day will be good.
She's a professional actress.
We've
She
got-
has headshots.
We've got a lot of people coming. We've got a few people, a couple new people, a lot of our regulars. It should be a good day.
I know
Should be a
someone
very
messaged
good
us today about.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was
And
like, ooh.
I was out running around doing stuff today. I will talk to him tomorrow. But
Mhm.
yeah, that 100%. Yes.
Who messaged that?
Chris Flick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he put something out there, and Steven was like, "You should talk to these people," and so he
Well, that's
messaged
cool.
us. Yeah. So
Yep. That's actually cool.
yeah, exactly. I'm very excited. I'll message him either tonight when I get home or tomorrow when I get back here.
Yay, people.
Probably tomorrow when I get
Yeah.
back here. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yep, that's coming up, which we're less than 2 months away now because
Yep.
It is getting ready to be the middle of March. Just so y'all know, we are closing in on the first quarter of the year.
And if old wives' tales are to be believed, the next 2 weeks should be sunny and beautiful because the first 2 weeks of March were miserable.
My
Mhm.
God.
They're
Like,
awful.
Yeah.
It just would not stop raining.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
here's the
worst.
bad thing. So it is literally March 12th. My
Yeah.
grass is already this high in the backyard. Like, I'm gonna have to go and cut grass tomorrow.
Yeah.
In March. March.
Oh man, Phoebe hit me with, I need you to work on your cardio because Reed's going to college next year. And I need somebody to mow the lawn. And I was like, no habla.
Luckily, I'll just
Yeah.
jumpstart my ride more tomorrow, and it won't take me about an hour to cut grass. So I'll be fine.
Brian makes a good point. We'll go through 4 more seasons before April 1st.
Yeah, I know.
Because welcome to Virginia.
There's-
If you don't like the weather, just wait a minute.
Yeah, there's a good chance we'll have snow next week.
That's
It's
true.
not in
What-
the forecast,
what-
but
What the
Yeah.
first day of spring is next Tuesday, Wednesday. So there's a good chance the day before that it will
Yep.
snow.
it will snow.
So
I remember as a kid, it snowed one spring break for us. It was like the first day of spring break, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go outside." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
never
Aw.
mind. I'm gonna stay inside and watch cartoons."
I never had to worry about that in Georgia.
Yeah, you had other things to worry about in Georgia.
It's January 5th. It is 90 degrees.
Cyrus had a friend who lived in Georgia, and they talked about scorpions,
I never really had to deal with scorpions
which
where I was
I'm
at.
guessing is like specific areas in Georgia.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I didn't have to deal with that. I had to deal with a Black Panther once because I guess they were started migrating from the mountains
Oh, sure.
down. Yeah,
Yeah,
it seemed
from
like
Wakanda. Yeah.
the Wakandan mountains in Georgia. that seems like a nice, safe place for
Uh-huh.
a hidden city. The Georgia mountains.
Wow.
That tracks. Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
Stone Mountains on one side, Wakanda's on the other. Yeah,
Yep,
that's,
yep.
Mhm, mhm.
that's where all the lights come out at night. On
That was
Stone
back when I had
Mountain.
Georgia on my mind often. That's a song in case you were in
I
Right away.
kind of assumed.
Okay.
So
All right.
All right, we'll talk about some books.
Sure.
All right. Speaking of
It's
Wakanda,
Ultimate Black Panther.
number 2, Electric Boogaloo. All right, Tommy, what's this one about? You're up.
Like we're 2 issues into Black Panther, and like there's some like domestic terrorism going on, and T'Challa's like
Stupid Khonshu,
trying to like figure it out.
the Moon Kniggets.
And then like there's this small group of like women who like see the future ish, and they're like, oh, this woman made of light is gonna be a thing, and he was just like, okay.
Spoiler
And
alert.
spoiler alert, Storm shows up.
What?
So like yeah, it's very different than the typical Black Panther book.
but the coolest thing is the Thunder Tank showed up.
I did. Yes. Yes, it did.
They literally gave him the Thunder
Yeah,
Tank.
yeah. There's a bunch of cool stuff going on in this book. I don't know how to describe it. It is the most like normal Marvel superhero book of the Ultimate line.
And it's just political intrigue.
But yeah, but
It's
also
literally-
it's
yeah.
like it's really well done, and I'm very excited to see what happens next. Anyway,
there, Tessaboo, you can
Ultimate
look at the
Black
Thunder Tank.
Panther.
thank you.
What was your pick? You didn't have a pick of the week?
I haven't decided yet. I've got like 5 different books that might be my pick of the week. I think it's going to be this one.
We'll talk about this one because it's on top.
It's more than meets the eye.
Transformers number 6.
Look at this cover. This is like it has all of the drama and like intrigue that you could want in a cover. It is a cover that pulls you into the book. It's like, oh my god, I recognize Optimus Prime. Is he dead? What is happening? Anyway,
I think Daniel Warren Johnson is really, for me, the first person who's gotten a sentient robot down pat.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the mechanical.
This
stuff.
is the
It's-
best Transformers art ever. Like I was talking to someone yesterday about that 10-year run that IDW did on
Which is great.
Transformers, which up until now was my favorite run of Transformers ever. I think Daniel Warren Johnson might end up being my favorite Transformers. Like
You can see Devastator and Optimus fight. It doesn't go well. Just in case anyone was wondering.
it is quite a fight.
That's like the page 2, so
Yeah.
it's not much of a.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh
giving
my
much
God.
spoilers. It's
Whew.
when I show art on here, it's usually the first few pages, so it's like
Yeah. Anyway,
lots go on after that.
This is the end of the first story arc.
Sacrifices happen in here. People sacrifice themselves, not
No, it's human sacrifices. The Transformers are like, Satan. No, sorry. Anyway, this is easily becoming my my favorite Transformers book ever. I cannot wait to see where the next story arc takes us.
Some would say that, Brian. It is more than meets the eye.
Indeed. Yeah. I'm a huge Transformers fan.
I am too.
We're children
I'm
of the
huge.
80s.
Yeah.
We love Transformers. And like we loved our 22-minute toys commercials. And so like when they become a book that's like smart
It's really
and
good.
fun and like says something, it's like, oh my God, my toy commercial has thoughts.
So this is one of those. Gregory's not watching, so I'm going to actually be fair to Gregory because he'll never know. So I give Gregory a hard time for the X-Men animated series because when I watched it, I was older, right? And the show was like, it's an okay animated show. Well, Gregory was young. He was like my age when I watched Transformers.
Yeah.
So Transformers was also awful, but I enjoyed it.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
Transformers and G.I. Joe were revolutionary.
Man, I mean, they were for the time, but like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like
They caused me to buy so many toys.
and then it also doesn't help that I'm not an X-Men fan. So,
yeah, that's fair.
like every time they got in that Blackbird, I just was waiting for it to go down. Yay, Sentinels!
Or to transform.
See, that would have been fine.
Yeah.
I would have been all about that.
Speaking of, yeah.
Thundercats number 2. Actually, the first issue was really like 4 lines of dialogue and a lot of pretty pictures.
Yeah. It wasn't the first issue didn't really have a lot going on.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it because I saw
Same.
where they were going.
Yeah.
This issue here, you start to see where they're going. But I think the one thing that caught me in this that I actually liked, I'm a big also Thundercats fan. Once again, I born in the 70s.
He's a Thundercats hoe.
I am. Is the fact that they started playing up that when this journey started, Lionel, Wily Kit, and Cat were all the same age.
Yeah, they were little kids.
And now he's grown with their mentality, trying to act like an adult. And Wily Kit and Cat miss their friend.
Yeah.
And that's always been the case, even in the original animated series, but it was never played up that way.
Yeah. But in this, Wily Kit and Wily Cat are just lamenting the fact that like we miss our friend. Like we really wish Lion-O would be less serious and like come play with us.
Yeah.
Like it's really cute, honestly.
Which, when you think about it, back in the original, which why you don't think about animated stuff a whole lot, right? But when you think about it, when the whole Lionel and Jatara thing was going on, it's like that's kind of weird. Because she's an adult, like he's an adult body. But
no, we don't want to think about it.
But he's got the
Don't
mind
think
of a
about it.
13-year-old. So
I mean, same.
that's true, but yeah.
Also, they
That's
introduced
fair.
a new character,
They do.
Calica.
And I was wondering how they were going to pull that crap off.
Yeah.
And they did a really good job of
And,
pulling
like,
that off.
Is she another Thunderian? Is she a spy? Is she good? Is she evil?
Or she's Smurfette's arch nemesis.
Yeah, is she brunette Smurfette? We'll find out soon.
Not a child of the 80s.
No, not at all.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, Thundercats was very good. I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Smurfette was created by Gargamel to
Are
take.
you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm telling
I'm
you.
so sorry. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I wasn't paying
Smurfette
attention.
was created by Gargamel to infiltrate the Smurfs and turn them all over to
Gargamel was the evil human wizard who wanted to eat the Smurfs.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So she was evil. Man.
Azrael was his cat.
Ah.
Azrael is who you would care about if you watch
If
the
I
cartoon.
watched
Yeah.
it. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Azrael also wanted to eat the Smurfs.
He did.
So true.
So next up is
The Amazed Spoderman.
45. So we are now dealing with the aftermath of Gang War.
Are we though?
Eh,
No. We're like, hey guys, remember 6 months ago when we had this story where like the X-Men's drugs made people crazy? Hey, we're gonna get back to that, but we're not gonna explain anything. We're just gonna jump in. Cool.
And then there's the editor's note. Hey, Peter helped create this antidote in some X-Men.
If you
book
go to
that
look at
happened.
this X-Men book, Spider-Man showed up and helped them create it. And it was like, cool, man.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I will say, if there's been most of the story arcs from Zeb's run has been fine. I will say, if you want to critique him on something, his transitions are awful.
Non-existent, I would
That's
say.
why they're awful.
Yeah.
There is no transition.
Yeah,
we ended one thing and now we're going to jump first page of the next issue. We're going to jump immediately
and like
into
the
another
cover
story.
of this book looks all right. Spider-Man's been beat up. Look at it. His mask is falling apart. And it's like, oh, clearly this is the aftermath of Gang War. Nope. Don't even mention Gang War at all in this issue. It's just like
they did. They had, there was 2 lines of dialogue between Peter and Norman Osborn.
Yeah. Peter.
And then that's it.
There's like 6 issues ago where Norman got mad at him and was like, rah, 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 rah. And this issue, Peter's like, actually, I'm going to quit my job because you were right. The things that I do reflect poorly on you. And Norman's like, wait, when did I say that?
So even Norman doesn't remember saying it.
He's like, clearly I was in a bad mood. Don't worry about that.
Like, once again, the stories themselves is fine, but like there's no transition.
Yeah, this does not feel like it's connected in any way to the previous issue.
And I think, and for me to have such a big story for Gang War and then no transition to it, it seems okay.
And the
story's fine.
I'll be honest, I expected the lack of transition to give us the aftermath of the Mary Jane story.
No.
And like we see Mary Jane in this, we see Jackpot in this for like 8 seconds or 4 panels, whatever. But like there's a whole lot of stuff that's been going on in the background that has had zero consequences that should have consequences.
Yeah, most
and
of
they
the
just haven't touched on it yet.
Yeah.
And maybe they will. And if they do, then I will apologize.
Maybe.
But as for right now, like this book came out of nowhere. Like it's not a bad issue of Spider-Man.
No, it's actually a really
very
good
good issue of Spider-Man.
It's once again, let me back up. It is a very good issue of Spider-Man.
And it's someone, and Zeb Wells clearly understands the character of Aunt Anna. Like he gets her, he understands where she's coming from. But like this was a weird issue to throw in at the end of Gang War.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm sure this story from this issue to the end of it is fine, but like all this big stuff happened at the end of Gang War, and then it's like we're ignoring it all of a sudden, and like maybe we'll go back to it, but it's once again, Gang War ended fine. I was fine with it. Yeah. This first issue of this new story arc, it's fine. It's really good. Like the interaction between him and Norman was great.
The interaction between him and Mary Jane,
I thought
was really good.
Was fine. Like all of that was fine. Like the story and everything's fine. But
I don't remember who did the art in this issue, but I would really like for them to keep doing it.
I want them to be the ongoing artist.
Let John Romita Jr. go do something else.
Yeah,
and like,
he can keep
this guy
covers.
do the art.
Yeah, he can keep doing covers, but yeah, the person doing the art in this book.
Yeah, it was the art was really very good.
But I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. It was Carmen.
San Diego.
No,
Wait, no.
different Carmen.
Carnero. Carmen Carnero.
Carmen Carnero. So I don't know what they've done in the past,
Look.
but
There's a delightful young lady talking to a hippo,
Yay!
like you do.
like you do. I mean, it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, we're getting ready to do a book that I can't really show much art on.
You were flipping through it, and I was like, "That's a butt."
It is. But anyway, we're going to talk about Napalm Lullaby #1. Or Tommy's going to talk about Napalm Lullaby
All right.
#1.
So this is clearly Rick Remender's dealing with. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is Rick Remender's way of dealing with Trump. This is his way of being like, okay, a certain percentage of the populace has lost their minds about this particular person. There is definitely a cult surrounding this human. What does that look like if that person is turned into a religious figure? And that's kind of what this book is.
hey,
And
it's Superman.
it starts off.
I can show these, I think.
Yeah, it starts off very much.
It's basically a Superman retelling.
Yeah, like the version of Superman, but like the adults that find this baby are part of a cult. And then we jump 50 years in the future, and the cult is basically running America.
50 years later.
Yeah. And it is a bleak, like, this is absolutely the worst place we could be as a society.
Praise be Glowcar.
Glowcar. Yes, praise be to Glowcar.
Praise be Glowcar.
It's very well done. It's not overly subtle. Like, it is very blatant what they are saying. And you know what? I appreciate that right now. The art's great. There's some technology in it they don't really explain. They just use it, which I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of when you're like, all right, I'm going to throw you in this world. And these are things that just exist. Deal with it. We might explain it later, but we don't need to.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
I'm fine with. I love that.
It's called sci-fi.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't have to explain to me how something works. It just needs to work.
And like they make it very clear how it works. They just don't explain where the technology came from or anything like that, which is fine. But there is a spot in the middle where there's a bunch of nudity. Be careful. It does have the weaponized female nipple.
It does.
Exactly.
It does.
She also has wings, so we'll just throw that out there.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So she's a cherub. It's all fine now at this point.
Yep. Smashing Pumpkins wrote a song about her.
Now we've put a religious tone on it. It's fine. She's also on the Virginia state flag, so that's fine too.
Yeah, that's true. She's stepping on some dude's head. It's fine. It's fine.
All right. Next up is the final issue of Zawa and the
Yes.
Belly of the Beast, number
Mhm.
5. And what a wonderful series.
I want more.
Like, I hope
Ugh.
they give us more of this.
Me too.
Like, the way they ended it, they could if they wanted to, but it is also just a wonderful post-apocalyptic type tale, which isn't really post-apocalyptic, but people in charge has made it that way. Like, nothing bad happened to make it like that other than the person in charge. And, you know, when you lie to someone for many, many years and corrupt them, it
Also,
happens.
if the big monster who you're totally terrified of comes after you, give them cookies. And they will be fine. All will be well.
Good old Zawa.
This book was so
Here's the
much
back.
fun. It's so cute. And like it's got some like
Zawa.
elements that are like, oh my God, scary things are happening. And then there are cookies. I want it to be a movie. I think it would be an amazing movie. This 5-issue series would a live action or animated doesn't matter. I
A
think
good CG animated
yeah
for this
yeah
would
yeah
be
yeah.
wonderful.
God,
Like a good
it's-
Netflix animated for this would be
Yep.
very well done.
Yeah, I agree. It's I don't want to give any spoilers, but the book is phenomenal.
Yeah. It is very good.
I see this being a book like a lot of the Boom stuff, where when the trade comes out, we're going to be constantly restocking the trade because of how much we talk about it.
Probably.
Because it's so good. And it's such a good complete story.
Yeah.
Like reading it monthly for 5 issues was good. But I have a feeling sitting down and reading it
as a graphic novel,
as a single story is going to be amazing.
Yeah. A lot of good undertones to what's going on in the story and stuff too. So
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Speaking of Boom,
I Heart Skull Crusher #1. Da, da, da.
So this is my pick of the week. I went back and forth on what I was going to pick, and I ended up with this one. And it's very much another post-apocalyptic, like this is the future. If you have seen Idiocracy, some of it feels a little bit like that.
And then here's some of the art.
God, it's so cute.
It's it's really anime styled.
Yeah, it very much
way.
It feels like a manga for
But
a
that's
lot
really
of it.
but that's really what they're going for.
Yeah,
It's not
absolutely.
It's not like it's
So like there's
Brian asked the title of this one again. It's
Napalm Lullaby?
Napalm Lullaby.
Yeah. Napalm Lullaby.
Napalm Lullaby.
Right there. There you go, Brian. My camera being off again.
I'm sorry.
We're on the wrong sides. I don't
They must have
understand.
changed something.
Yeah, something
Because
happened.
that's what I was actually trying to do earlier is figure out if I hit a setting is when I screwed
That's
up.
how you ruined it. Yeah.
That's
That's
how
how
you
I
broke
ruined
it.
everything.
That's how you broke it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
Understand.
I'm just used to breaking things, so it's fine. But
It's fine.
now we're back to
Anyway, I heard Skull Crusher. It's a girl who's grown up basically in the wasteland. Like she grew up super, super poor. But the main form of entertainment is this like murdery game show
called Screaming Paintball.
called Screaming Paintball. And she decided as a small child that she is going to be the best Screaming Paintball player ever. And Skull Crusher is her favorite.
Because you can get cards.
Yes. And so, like, basically, she's decided I'm going to be the best at this game. But she basically grew up in let's pick all right, the small town in every movie where the kid wants to move out of the small town and stop being so sad. We'll call it Petersburg. So
I can't believe you're picking on Petersburg that way, man.
only because I've been there. So anyway, she is doing her best to try and get out of this horribly impoverished situation, and shenanigans ensue. A little bit of Grand Theft Auto, some petty larceny, maybe some not so petty larceny. Anyway, the book is fun. It's very much about a young lady trying to rise above her station, kind of deal. We have not met the Screaming Paintball players yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be another one of those like, oh, they're actually terrible people. What? She's going to have to learn a valuable lesson. But the first issue was fantastic. I cannot wait for the next issue.
Don't we all have to learn a valuable lesson?
Yeah.
All right. And then next up is Avengers Twilight #4. So right now, this is probably my favorite book of the year so far. And it's going to take a lot to knock this whole series off.
It's
like
ridiculously good.
They're going to have to really not stick the landing to make this series not end up being an easy top 3. I've already got 2 books of the year out so far. It's going to take a lot for other ones to beat this. But
Sir, it is March. You need to calm down.
Hey, I'm telling, but that's the thing. Like, I don't usually have books that I'm enjoying this much at the beginning of the year. But,
That's fair. Yeah.
But this one by far is. This is kind of how I felt the year that when like Civil War hit and then Planet Hulk hit, but then we got
Annihilation.
Yeah, and everyone ignored Annihilation, and I thought Annihilation was the best thing written.
It absolutely was.
And
yes,
to me, it was. And right now, this is basically, I mean, and I guess they kind of said it. This was going to be like Captain America's Dark Knight type book, and it's not as not quite as dire as Dark Knight, but it is on the verge of it. But we're going to kind of save that from the brink. And Steve Rogers is still Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Regardless if he's Captain America or not Captain America, he's going to be who he is.
The two guys in this book who stand out to me as being like, okay, this is who they are, regardless of what's happening in the world around them, are Steve Rogers and Luke Cage. Those two guys are just like, there's right and there's wrong. I know which side I want to be on,
right?
No matter the consequences.
And I told Tommy this the other day. If it's done right, there's no better entrance, whether it's in a movie or a comic, than when Thor shows up.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, when Thor shows up, and he showed up at the end of issue 3 for this issue, is amazing.
Yeah.
And I know they've been doing reprints of these that we've been selling out. And so if you can't get a hold of the single issues, I think it's a 6-issue series.
Yeah, I think so.
Please pick up the trade, because when the trade comes out, I will sit down and read this from beginning to end.
And I'll be honest, like I didn't order a ton of these because we didn't have a lot of pre-orders on the first issue. This is one of those rare instances where every issue I'm ordering more copies.
Yeah.
Because it's so very good.
It is just been
we've got second printings of number 2 this week, I believe.
Yeah.
We've sold out of the second printings to number 1. I'm waiting for third printings.
And we sold out of the last printing of Transformers number 1 again.
Yep, I did order more Transformers number 1s and number 4s, which weirdly we've got 2, 3, 5, and 6. 6 comes out this week.
But if you've ever been any kind of Avengers fan or Captain America fan, you have to read Avengers Twilight. Like I said, even if you don't want to pick up the single issues, fine. I don't even care. When the trades come out, you got to pick it up. Like it is that. It's honestly, I really haven't gone into the political aspect of this book.
I was about to.
But it is a very important book.
It is.
Everything about it from beginning to end. Forget the superhero stuff, but from beginning to end, it is a very, very important book. And it is a very, very important lesson in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really want to give a whole lot away because it is, my bad. It is very impactful, like very impactful through the beginning to end.
Yeah.
And we made it through 4 issues now, and there's only 2 left, and it has not let me down yet at all.
Yeah. Every issue I feel like has been better than the one before it.
Yeah, it's been insane.
Like the first issue was very much like, let's see Steve Rogers as an old man who isn't like a super soldier anymore.
Yeah.
And watch him as he's kind of acclimated to this terrible dystopian future until one day he's just like,
but it's not terrible. It's not a terrible dystopian future. That's the problem. For the majority of the people, it's not a terrible dystopian future, which lies the political intrigue and the underlying tones of it that you'll get. For your average person.
Yeah. It definitely has a lot of subtext.
That's what
that a lot of people right now would not understand.
Right.
They would call it many names.
We're still getting reprints in, Brian, when they're doing them.
We're out of issue 1 right now.
Yeah.
But
we're still carrying the reprints. I'm just saying, whether you get the single issues or you don't, it's fine.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a place where I want you to buy single issues.
And this is one of those things where, like, normally for a trade, especially a Marvel trade, we order 1, maybe 2.
It won't be for this one.
We will order a lot of these because
I'm going to be pushing this book.
I want to make sure we have these in stock, even if they go out of print.
Yeah, because
God, it is good.
Yeah, it is. It is that, and I think it's that important.
Yeah.
Like there's not many stories over the last so many years that are that important, and this is that.
And I do feel like Dark Knight is a good comparison because when it came out, we had a lot of political stuff going on in that, where Reagan was still the president,
right. And Reagan was in Dark Knight,
and Superman towed the company line. By the company, I mean America, and Bruce didn't. And that is very much what this feels like. America has its own version of the Avengers. They have a Captain America. They have a Thor. Who those people are, couldn't tell you.
Yeah, couldn't tell you.
And for years, Steve Rogers has been like, well, I'm just a normal guy. I can't fight against this. And then Luke Cage was like, bruh, I need your help. Because
And they're calling themselves the Defenders.
yeah.
So Luke Cage basically is running the Defenders.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it like Captain America is the spotlight character. He is the main character of the story, but really the heart behind it all is Luke Cage. Which
and what was the weird thing is like when the first issue of this came out, people got hung up on Spider-Man died, but like for this story, Spider-Man died like 25 years ago.
Yeah, there's a
like it was a flashback. Like it's not even.
Yeah, there's a
irrelevant.
day. There's a day in history where a bunch of heroes died, and the U.S. government was like, "Okay, no more heroes." Like that was basically the mandate. They call it H Day. A bunch of people died, and so like in the first issue, we get some flashbacks to H Day, and we see people die, and one of them is Spider-Man, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Spider-Man died!" And I was like, "Well, this is." Sort of like it's sort of post-apocalyptic where the vast majority of people don't recognize that it's post-apocalyptic.
Right.
They're just living their lives and they're like, yeah, things are bad, but you know, whatever. I got to buy eggs. I don't have time to worry about that.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that people like hung on to the.
Yeah, that was all I heard about the first issue
like
for like 2 weeks.
And so like I came in here and people like the one where I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, there's no book where he died. And they were like, Avengers Twilight. I'm like,
it's like a panel.
I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's a single panel in a flashback that's 25 years before this story. It's like, he doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
You know who does matter in this book? Kamala Khan. A person who may or may not be the child of Hawkeye. We're not sure.
We have no idea. Yeah.
Don't know, but she's awesome.
Thor likes her.
Like this issue has a great bit with Thor where he's like, I'm really sorry I disappeared, but because I'm immortal, your lives are so fleeting that when you get old, it's uncomfortable for me to come and hang out with you.
And that's a whole nother thing.
And I'm like, that's reasonable. If you're immortal and you're like, you spend 20 years with your friends and then suddenly they're old, you're like, I don't really want to sit here and watch you die.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to Asgard and I'm going to do my thing with people who are also immortal. And then a generation from now, we'll come back and make new friends.
But Captain America hit the pager.
Yeah, he did. He did. It's like when Nick Fury's like, Captain Marvel, come here. It's very similar. But yeah, anyway. I completely get Thor's line of thinking. Yeah. Like as an immortal being, like how do you deal with that?
And that's how he dealt with. Like he's ashamed.
Yeah, he's like I feel
ashamed.
really bad. Like I feel like a bad friend, but I just could not come back to Earth and watch you die.
There's so much in this Avengers Twilight series. Anyway, so that's some of the books. It's a pretty big week,
and it's written by Chip Zdarsky.
Well, yeah.
Who honestly, if you've read Chip Zdarsky stuff, nothing will match his Howard the Duck. But that's. But
I do love Chip Zdarsky stuff.
Yeah,
I want to read it now.
It's so good.
Honestly, I don't tell you superhero stuff lightly. I think when this is collected, you should probably because you at least know who the characters are, and so the impact will be there for you.
Yeah, I think if you haven't read a lot of comics, if you've watched the movies. Yeah. These characters are so recognizable.
You just need to know. Yeah, I mean, you recognize Thor,
you know who they are.
Cap, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was your pick of the week, Tess?
I didn't have one.
What?
I know. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Loser.
Hey, you know what? You know what this month is? You know what March is? I've been at the shop 31 years.
Wow.
I have been here 31 years, people.
Yep. It's Women's History Month.
That's what I was going for. And I was like, it's going to be some comment against me.
No, it was not.
Sorry, I made it all about myself.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to.
Oh, so it's Tess's month. Wow. No. Just want to put it out there. I've now been here 31 years.
31 years. That's a long time.
As of last week. I think it was last week. It was either the 4th or the 9th. I think it was the 4th.
I don't pay attention to dates. I know how long, I vaguely know how long I've been here. And I know my first job in comics was in 93. So however long that is.
I agree, Brian. It is almost long enough for me to retire. I agree with that statement.
Oh no.
Someone approves that message. Anyway, what were you saying, Tommy?
I don't know. It's Women's History Month.
Oh no.
All the single ladies. All the single ladies.
It's Tessa's History Month.
Wow.
All right.
It is 7:45.
It is
Is it?
7:45. Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. Well, remember, I screwed up like the first 3 minutes
Yeah, but
of this.
like every week, I'm just like, la 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 la. Wait, what time is it?
Yep.
Like,
So I guess we need to start. We'll start talking more about Free Comic Book Day next week.
Yeah.
More books.
we'll start talking about like the people who are coming.
And then we'll circle back around and tell you why Tommy and I haven't started our podcast yet. There's a really good reason for that.
I'm gonna guess it's because I've been sick for 2 weeks.
We're retooling. We retooled the whole podcast.
We were gonna get together last Sunday and like work on it, and then I got sick. Like
But-
we came over from Pittsburgh and we both got sick, and then he was sick for 2 days, and I'm now.
But we've
2
come up,
weeks.
we finally come up with our official name, which we haven't told anyone until we get all that stuff straight. And we may not have that straight by next week, but we will.
But we have a spot to film.
But we have a spot to film.
Yeah.
We've got a name. We've
Yep.
got what we're doing. So it's going to be very different. So we'll go more into that because hopefully that'll get going over the next few months.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
we get that going, and we'll still do this, but we're also going to be. We're going to be basically champions for the industry. How about that?
And our podcast is going to be a completely separate entity. It's going to
Yes.
have nothing to do with Richmond Comics.
Correct.
It's just us
It is just a yes. It is
talking
just
about
us,
the things that we love,
champion people.
like comics in the 90s.
Woohoo! Because there was good stuff.
Such good
You
stuff.
just missed it.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. Appreciate y'all joining us as always, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.